Welcome everyone to part 3 of getting started with Django. In these past 2 days, we learned how to get started with Django and how to set up the environment. In the second part, we learned about a little bit of HTML and CSS. Now we're going with the third part. We're going to continue from yesterday's work, and then I'll give the mic over to Nishant. He's going to talk about the overview and then proceed with the project itself.
Hello guys, welcome to the third part of Code Conversation on Django. In the last video, we just coded a simple HTML and some basic CSS. So that was what we did in the last video, and now I think our front end is ready, except we need to code our JavaScript. Yep, so let me just immediately go to our project. So I'm going to open up my command prompt, and I'm going to say cd desktop. I'm going to go our book list. I'm gonna turn on our virtual environment, Django. I'm gonna say script / activate. There you go. Our virtual environment has been activated, and now I'm gonna type in our command to run the server just to show you guys what we left up in the last video. It was a Python manage the py run server. Oh, what's wrong? No, it says file dot. Oh, hang on. What's happening?
You need to go.
Oh, I think I didn't go over there. Yeah. Python manage the py run server. So our server is up and running. I'm going to copy and paste this in our Chrome browser. So I'm going to paste this over here, and you can see this is where we left in the last video. I just added one more row just to see everything was looking okay. And now one problem I saw in this form was whenever I click over here, you see this annoying blue border over here. We just want to get rid of this blue border. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my text editor first. So I'm going to open this text editor, and I'm gonna open our style as CSS, and I'm gonna write one more line of CSS code, and that would be outline equals none. Give the semicolon, outline equals none, and I'm gonna do the same in all the three forms. Let's go over here, go over here, go over here, and save this. And if I refresh this, now I should not be seeing this blue border, and you can see now we don't see this annoying blue border. We get rid of this annoying blue borders whenever we work with HTML forms. Blue border tend to come out. Again, all of this could have been done by the Django forms. There is a module in Django known as Django forms. All of this form could have been rendered by using the Django form, but in this video I like to use HTML form. So again, if you guys want, then you can use the Django form. If you want us to do the same form with Django forms, leave comments down below. So now our
can you go back once?
Okay.
Is that a coincidence, or you knew what you were writing, like the author's name, Robert Langdon?
Oh,
I think Da Vinci quotes Dan Brown's.
Yeah, the only author name. I'm not a kind of person who reads a lot of novels. The only novel I read was Dan Brown's Angels and Demons, and apparently he was the only author who I knew. So I wrote Robert Langdon.
Oh, okay. No, I just wanted to know if that's a random name, or you just actually
I think
kept the name from the character.
This is just a random name that popped up in my mind. And I'm not sure whether ISBN number has the characters in it or not right now. I'm assuming that ISBN number does not have characters, so I am putting the number field. So if you guys think that ISBN number has character, then you can just go over here and type in you can just type text instead of number over here, and that would remove this arrow thing, and you'll be able to write the text. Because right now, even though I try to type in the text, I cannot type in the text because actually this is a number field. So now what we're gonna do is right now what's gonna happen is if I write something, let's say the book name is Angels and Demons, let's say, and author is Robert, and let's say ISBN number is 123. We're gonna get a weird error. So this is weird. We're gonna get a weird error, and what I want is when unless the user does not fill the entire 3 fields, I don't want user to be able to submit the form. So we're gonna be using JavaScript in order to do this. So I'm gonna go in my Atom and make a new file over here in the static. I'm gonna make a new folder and let's say JS. Enter over here, and I'm gonna go over here and make a new file, and our name of our file will be script.js. And I'm gonna go over here and connect my HTML with JavaScript. I can do that by going over here, type in script, and I'm gonna say source equals double quotation, the same syntax, static, and js slash script.js. Do not forget to put this another percentage sign, and I think my JavaScript is connected. I'm gonna check by typing over here console log, let's say hello world, and I'm gonna save this,
There's
go
another
over
type,
here.
there's another typo in there.
All right, there's
You
a typo over here.
no in the HTML.
Index.
Yeah.
What's
Isn't
the
it
typo?
supposed to be script.hs? It's comma hs. You
Oh yeah, it should be script.js. Yeah, right, absolutely. I don't know why I'm not being able to type properly. Okay, so I saved that. I'm gonna go to my this page and refresh this, and I'm gonna inspect it, and I should be seeing hello world over here. Yeah, I see hello world over here. This means that our page has been connected to JavaScript. Whatever I type in over here, it should pop in over there. I'm gonna type in connected, save it, refresh this page, and I see connected over here. This means our JavaScript has been connected. And one thing I'd like to say was the CSS which we used over here is if we try to open up the same application in a mobile phone, everything's gonna get messed up, right? If you wanna ensure that everything falls into the place, even if you open the application with the mobile phone, we're gonna have to be using the CSS technology known as the Flexbox. But Flexbox is actually beyond the scope of our video, so we're not gonna be using Flexbox. And if you guys want us to use the Flexbox in some other video, comment down below. So now what I'm gonna do is uh, JavaScript has been connected. So let me save this. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab in this button, this submit button. Let's see what the submit button is. The submit button is over here. We're given the ID of button. So I'm gonna say var button is equal to document dot get element by ID. Pass in here button, and let's go over here, passing your button. And now we're going to do some event-based programming. What this means is whenever user press in the submit button, I want the program to run. So what I'm going to do now is go over here, and I'm going to say uh, uh, button dot add event listener, pass in click, make the function over here. Whoops, the function over here, and okay, now I'm going to say button is equal to button dot value. Oops, not button dot value. I want to grab what do you call the text written by the user in this book title and author and ISBN form. So I'm going to declare the variable title and author and ISBN, and I'm going to say title is equal to document dot get element by ID, pass in title dot value. We need to pass in dot value because whenever if we leave this the statement only by typing this much, then it's not gonna grab the value. Instead, it's gonna grab the whole box of the form. So in order to grab the text within the form, we're gonna have to write out value. This is a simple DOM, and I'm gonna say author is equal to document.get element by ID, and I'm gonna say author dot value. I'm gonna say ISBN equal and dot get element by ID, pass in ISBN and dot value. And what this line of code is saying is that as soon as you press in the submit button, the JavaScript gonna go to the HTML page and grab in the text of the title field, author field, and ISBN field. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say here, I'm gonna put in some Boolean expression over here. I'm gonna say if title is equal to nothing and author is equal to nothing, or ISBN is equal to nothing, what I want to do is I want to alert the user saying, all the fields has not been filled. So that's what we're gonna do. So, and we don't want the page to get refreshed. I'm gonna pass in an event, pass in here, pass in
Yeah.
here.
What's the
Yeah.
difference between two equal signs and the three in here?
Oh, in Java, in most of the other programming language, the thing is, if it okay, let's say in most of the programming language, the thing is in Python, let's say we said this and this are two different things, right? This is a string and this is what you call, this is a integer, right? But in JavaScript, both are same. If you write console.log, let's say 2 equals 2, it's going to return true. Okay, I'm going to show that right now. Let's see, let's in here, prevent default. This line is not allowing the page to refresh. I'm going to have to pass an event. Okay, I'm going to put this over here and I'm going to show you. Let's paste this. Let's see. Okay, you see, it was true, right? You see, this is JavaScript. It is showing true over here. It has to be false, but it's showing true, right? Now, if I pass in here one more equal sign, it's gonna show false. It's so false. This is a weird thing about JavaScript. Unless you mention the 3 equal signs, it's gonna assume that it's only gonna look at the value that is inside this double quotation mark. It does not care whether it is string or integer. It's just gonna check the value, the interior value.
Okay, so when you have three equal signs, then it's also going to check if
Yeah, if it is in, it's also gonna compare.
same or
Yeah,
not, right?
yeah. It's also gonna check whether it's integer and a string. It's gonna put that into effect. But if you don't write 3 equal signs, it's gonna check. It is just gonna check the value, and 2 and 2 is same, so it's just true. This is JavaScript.
And I was wondering, how does it like with ISBN? I think I understand why there is 3 equals, but why is it necessary for the title and author, or is it just like just let it go? Because
Okay.
there's only one possible way. Because in any way, people are going to write words in title and author, right?
Yeah, but I've been habituated of writing whenever I have to compare this expression. I'm habituated of writing 3 equal signs, unless it is necessary to put 2 equal sign. So it is just a habit, you know. So I'm putting over here, and I'm gonna say alert. All the fields have not been filled. I want to save this. Go over here. Let's remove this. Refresh the page. Let's type in angels, demons. Let's leave this blank. Let's try 1, 2, 3. And you see all the fields has not been filled. This is the alert. that comes in. Now we can add a lot of features over here. What if you guys are really good in JavaScript, what you can do is you can just alert if the book title is not filled. You can just alert book title has not been filled. If author is not filled, then you can just alert author has not been filled. Depending upon whose field has not been filled, you can alert that in your page. But right now we're not going to do over there. Right now we're not going to do that. We're just gonna check in the entire field, and if anyone's field is not open, not filled, then we're gonna show that alert. And if you type in, let's say, if you type in Nishant, let's type here Koda, and now everything should work. Yeah, everything. I mean, the page has to refresh. Everything doesn't work now because we have not coded the backend yet. But right now, what you can see is if I miss any of the field and submit, so what's happening? Let's type here Nishant. Let's leave that blank. Submit. All the field has not been filled. So refresh this.
What if you do this? I just wanted to check in all
Okay.
possibilities. Like
Okay.
you write like you fill all the field.
Okay.
Field, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there as well. The random names, ISBN. We submit
Here
it.
as well.
Yeah.
Submit it now.
No. You type the ISBN as well.
Okay.
And then submit it. What if we go back?
Are you talking about this here?
No. What if we go back now and delete one of the fields, like maybe the author's field, and then submit it? Oh, okay.
It has not been refreshed. Okay. Okay. Then don't worry about whenever if you guys are getting this error, don't worry about it. This is a CSRF token in Django. This is a security feature in Django. We're gonna this is a basic one line of code over there. Don't worry about that right now. So right now I think we're done with JavaScript. This is a very simple app, so we not write a whole bunch of JavaScript over here. So I think we're done with the JavaScript. So I'm gonna close this file, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create our database. So whenever you type in something over here, and type over here title, type over here author, type over here ISBN, and whenever you press in the submit button, our plan is to make sure that the book title comes in here, right? But there has to be some way to retrieve this book, right? There has to be some way of storing this book permanently, right? Otherwise, if you refresh the page, then everything will be gone, right? So that's why we're using database in order to put all of our data over here. And whenever you submit all of these, we're gonna receive the data from the database and put it over here. So first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create the models. Models means database. Models and database are pretty much the same thing. So I'm gonna go over here. Okay, now I'm gonna type in here class, let's say book. This is gonna inherit from models dot model. Bring over here. I'm gonna say title equals models dot care field. I'm gonna pass in max length equals 264. This means that you cannot type in the character that is more than 264 words. I'm going to say author is equal to models dot care field max length. Let's give it 264, and I'm going to say ISBN is equal to models dot care field. Okay. I don't think this should be a care field because I don't think ISBN has a character in it, so I'm going to pass in integer field. I'm going to say null, it's true. Passing over here, I'm going to say blank, it's true. Go over here, let's say blank equals true, and return self.title. If you guys are not familiar with the object-oriented programming in Python, then it's going to be hard to grasp. So before you start coding out the models in your Django, I suggest you guys go over the internet, go over the Google, and learn about object-oriented programming before coding out this model farm. And now I'm going to save this. And other thing we need to do after coding out the models farm is that we need to run some command in our terminal. So what we're going to do is I'm going to close this out. I'm going to say cls. I'm going to say python -py migrate. I'm just migrating the database over here, and I'm going to say python -py migrations. The name of our app is, what's the name of our app? Is list. So you run this command, you put in python -py, make migration, make sure that your spelling are correct, and pass in the name of your app, and press enter. Migration for list. Okay.
What is this line doing here?
Okay, I'm gonna say that better. Okay, let me finish this first. Python -py. Run this command one more time. Yeah, all the migration has been done. All the migration is over here, and now if you see, hang on. Static migration, and you see the 001. What all the three commands were doing was it was creating a database for us. It was creating the table for us. Well, now we're creating a table that has 3 columns in it, and the first one is title, the second one is author, and the third one is ISBN. There's also ID included, and that happens automatically. We did not do that. ID is simply as you go on typing the name of the books, the ID goes on increasing by 1, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like the serial number in whenever we create a table. So what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna go to admin.py, and I'm gonna say from list.models import. I think it was book. Yeah, it was book. And I'm going to say admin.site.register book. Yes, and we're going to have to create one more command. Right now what's going to happen is I'm going to show you. What's happening? If I create an admin, nothing happens, right? Nothing happens because we have not created the admin super user. We need to, admin is something where admin is like a special person of the website. Like let's say you go to facebook.com, and if you want to try to access the database of the Facebook, you cannot do that, right? Only the programmers, only the engineers can access the database, and those people are admin. The people who can make the changes to the database, those people are admin. And in this web app, I'm coding the web app, audience are coding the web app, so they are admin. Now we are trying to create the admin over here. So in order to create the admin, what we're going to do is we're going to say python manage.py create super user. So press enter. And I'm going to say username as Nishant, and email address as nishant47@gmail.com. And I'm going to say the password. The password does not get visible over here, so just keep on typing. I'm going to say Y. Okay, the super user has been created. Now I'm going to run the server again. This is the server. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to paste this thing over here. And now I'm going to show you the cool thing. Shant. You see? Now this is the database. This is the database that has been created for me. Right? I go to over here, and in this side I can go over here, and in this side I can add the book, and I can type angels and demons. I can type it author Robert Langdon. I can say ISBN 123, and I'm gonna save this. And this has basically created one book in our database. this is what all those commands and all this line has been doing for us. And if you want to log out, you go over here and log out. Now you might have understood the purpose of hang on, wizard list. Now you might have understood the purpose of this admin URL pattern, right? Whenever we want to access a database, being as an admin, you go over this URL, right? So what I'm gonna do is now,
This thing is so cool. Like,
yeah, this is the major advantage of Django. All this
3 lines of code, and then you have this wonderful looking
interface, right?
yeah.
Yeah, this is the best thing about Django. Just a very few lines of code, and I get a so good looking interface every time. Every time I use this, every time I use this feature of Django, I always feel amazed because this is so cool. Right, I don't think the other framework of Python like Flask provide the same kind of interface like Django does. I think this is why Django has been really popular these days. So what I'm going to do now is, yeah, now what I want to do is I want to commit all of these to my Git. So I'm going to go to my command line, and I'm going to I'm going to turn off the server. You can turn off the server by typing Control C, and I'm going to remove all of these, and I'm going to say Git add, I'm going to say git commit, pass in the message JS, and database done. It has been committed. Now let's push this. Here we go. Okay, now our Git has been pushed, and if you type in git log, you can see all the history of my commit. This is where our setup was done. This was the commit I made when our setup was done. This was the commit that I made when the front end was done, and this is the commit that I'm making right now. So next thing what I'm going to do is now I'm going to start coding the views.py file. Or is it views.py?
I just wanted to know one thing before we move on to the view.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
can you go to models.py?
Models.py. Okay.
Yeah. So what is that last function doing in there? Like underscore.
Over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show you the cool thing. Let's see. Let's go to command terminal, and I'm going to say Python manage.py shell, right? And let's say less from dot models import. Okay, I'm going to say a equals book dot objects dot create. I'm going to pass in name. So let's say ABC. Pass in author is equal CD, and I'm going to pass in ISBN is equal to 123.
Is this
go over here?
Title, the first one.
Oh, was it title or name? Okay, it was title author. Okay, go over here. So man, I cannot remove this. I cannot remove this. I need to remove to change the whole thing. Okay, I'm gonna say ABC. I'm gonna say author is.
You can click it, but then you can just use left and right arrow keys to move back and forth.
Well, I don't know why my mouse is not working. So I'm using the mouse of my laptop, so it is kind of difficult for me. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I'm gonna say, oops. Book is not defined. How come book is not defined? How come book is not defined? Okay. So let's start. Models. Book. I'm gonna copy this whole thing again. Paste it over here. I'm gonna say that's save. Now what this has done is this has saved this in my database. Now if I want to print it prints ABC, right? Because the name of our title is ABC, right? And if we delete this line of code, it's gonna say object 1. It's not gonna show the name of the book, but it's gonna say object 1. Are you getting me? The importance of this str. It is basically printing the object.
Let me
right?
the console window one more time.
Okay.
Mm, that's it. Print a.
Print a. It shows ABC because we have printed self.title. If I had changed this to something like self.author, it would have printed CTE. What this function is doing. If I had not mentioned if I exclude, if I right now, if I go ahead and delete the method str, then it's gonna say object1 object, and it's gonna say bracket one.
Oh, okay. So underscore str is some standard function. Like I can't
Yeah.
it to something else.
Whenever you try to create the object, it gets called on its own.
Okay, no. What I mean is, if you go back to models.py, uh,
Mhm.
is it possible to change that underscore str to something else and then get the same?
No, you cannot. No, you cannot.
Okay,
And underscore str is a built-in function of Python. Whenever you want to print the object, you cannot change this. No.
okay.
So now if you go to the database, you can see two books over here. One is ABC, and the other one is Angels and Demons, because using the console we have saved this book in our database. Now I want to click this. And now what I want to do is I want to start coding the views.py. Now what I want to do is let's go to our front page. Oops, what is wrong? Oh, I've not started my server. Let's start the server. Control C. Let's close this. Yeah. Now what we're gonna do now is whenever we're coding the backend now. So what we're coding now is whenever the user types in the name of the book, author, and ISBN, and hit submit, that book should come over here. That's what we're gonna do now. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to my views.py, and one thing I want to change over here is I just noticed right now. Yeah, instead of writing over here button, I'm gonna do AHREF, and I want to say a close, save this. Right now, let's say this is gonna be a pound. Let's go, let's see everything is working or not. Let's see submit. Oops, our JavaScript is acting over there. Nishant, go to, okay, I'm still getting 4 3 4 pages. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys why I changed from button to ASREF later on. So right now I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna say define add book request, and if I think this should be, I think it doesn't matter, name equals let's see, let's give it as book author ISBN, the name is author, and I'm gonna give name as ISBN, and what I want to say is name equals
There is spelling mistake in line 8. Request
is it?
double S.
Oh yeah. I don't know why I'm not being able to type properly.
No, it's easy because all I'm doing is just watching, and then that's why it's easy to spot because
Oh
it
yeah,
takes a lot of time, when you
yes,
record.
yes, absolutely. So what I'm going to do is now what I want to do is uh, all the text which the user writing all the text the user writing in the form. I want to grab all of this data and I want to send this all of this data to the backend so that whenever I want to send all of this data to the backend, and yeah, I want to send all of this data to the backend and I store this in the database, right? Because that's what we're going to do. So name equals quest dot post. This is a dictionary, and our name is name. What's our name? I think it's book. Oops, it is book. When pass in author is equal to request dot post.
Is it possible to
Bring
just
it.
have different name, the different ID and different name? Or
Yeah, it is absolutely possible to have different ID and different name. Just for the convenience and for the sake of remembering, I put same ID and same name.
yeah, and then what over here in line number 9 and 10, so
Uh-huh.
inside the post thing, what we have is the name, not the ID.
Yeah, we need to pass in the name, not the ID.
Can we change name to something else so that
Yeah, I changed it to book name.
yeah, it won't be confusing to people, like,
Yeah,
because right now it's confusing because the name and the ID for each input is same,
yeah, I get it.
right?
Yeah,
So maybe just add underscore name for the
yeah,
name.
yeah. So I did book underscore name for book instead of typing only name.
Okay.
Is that okay? So I'm gonna say ISBN is equal to request dot
No,
post.
I mean like can we go
Oh,
back to
for the author as well.
HTML?
Go back. Okay.
Like
Okay.
what I'm saying is here it's pretty clear that if we check on line 15, 16, and 17,
Okay.
it's pretty clear that the name and the ID matches, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But now when you call these things from the other script or
Okay. From views.py.
right? So something that
Okay.
might be confusing is this book, I mean, like in the dictionary thing, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a part of a name or ID? That might be confusing. So I think it will make it more, I mean, less confusing if we just go back to index HTML and modify
And
the
type
name
something
here
else.
itself. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe
So
underscore name or something. Yeah, so that it won't be confusing.
so okay, I get it. So title
Okay,
and list search the synonym for author, writer. Is
okay,
it good? And ISBN num. Okay.
okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna say title, and I'm gonna say writer, and I'm gonna say what was the name again?
ISBN.
Uh, ISBN. I'm just gonna copy and paste just to make sure I don't make any errors over here. I think I need to convert this into int because in our database we have ISBN as an integer field, and right now when we take the whenever user has typed in the ISBN field in the backend, that will be originally in the form of string, and whenever you try to put the string in the field of integer, I think Django might throw us some errors. So I think it's better to put int over here just to make sure everything is working. Int, and I'm going to have to import from list.models, import book. I'm going to have to import book, and I'm going to say book.objects.create tab over here, and my name was, it should be book name, right? Author should be author, and ISBN should be ISBN, right? Right. And what I want to do is I want to say, yeah, yeah. And now what I want to do is I want to return render request. I'm going to say index.html. We'll see, go to URL over here, make a new path, let's type in add, let's say, what's the name of our function? Add book, pass in the name, add book. And I'm going to have to import our function name add book as well. Let's save this. And now what I want to do is, right now in our user interface, we have hard-coded this, right? But I don't want to hard-code this. What I want to do is I want to retrieve all of this data from our backend, from our database, and I want to put this thing over here. I don't want to hard-code this. Just for the sake of testing our front end, we had a hard-coded Python and JavaScript book over here. But now I want to erase this, and I want to bring the data from the backend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all of this data over here. Okay. I'm going to keep this thing over here because title, author, and ISBN are the headlines of our table in the user interface, and I want to delete all of these. So what I'm going to do is, let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one more function over here, show book, pass in the request, and I want to say books equals book dot objects dot all. What this is saying, oops, I don't know why I'm not being able to speak correctly today. What this is saying is that, what this line is saying is that, go ahead in our database and grab all the book and grab all the book. Now books will be a list. It will be an array of our objects. Now what I want to do is, I want to loop through, all of these books, loop through all of these books, and display this data in our HTML piece. So what I'm going to say is, I'm going to say return render request HTML and pass in context as books.
Render
Now I pass.
updating the HTML page.
Yeah, I'm updating the HTML page. Now we're gonna make the use of our Jinja language, which I talked about yesterday in our HTML page. Now, whenever this function runs, this is gonna render our homepage index.html, and it's gonna pass in the data. It's gonna pass in the data of books, right? So in the front end, what I want to do is I want to loop through all the data and put the data in the table. So how I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna go over here, and this is all good. That is all good. So I'm gonna say %sign for book and books, passing this data over here, and it's gonna go. Now we don't even require this data now because we hard-coded this data just for the sake of testing our front end, right? So sorry. So I'm gonna delete all of this data, and so let's see. I'm just trying not to delete the data that we might require. So I'm gonna have to think a bit here. So I think I'll be good to go if I delete this much of data. Just delete it. Oh, hang on. What was in our models? Title. Author, I think it's author, right? Author, and it was, I guess, dot bn. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a book object. I'm taking one book object. I'm looping through the books object, and at every iteration, I'm taking one book object, and I am printing the title and the name of the author of the book and ISBN of book over here. So I'm going to save this
Um,
and
hold on. I want to understand how would Jinja know that till which line? I mean, like this is the mix of HTML and Jinja, right? What is it?
okay, I'm going to say whenever HTML is constructing the page based upon our HTML code, and when it reaches this line, it's going to search whether anything called books has been passed or not from views.py, which we have obviously passed over here,
Yeah.
right? And it's gonna put the data associated with books over here and loop through it.
Okay, but
Are you getting me?
let's say in database we have like 100 books, right? How
Okay,
how
okay.
how would this how would this three line understand that I have to run this 100 times?
Oh, okay. Okay, this is okay. What happens in Python is that let me show you over here. uh, let's say we got a equals 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 5. This is a basic array, right? When I say for I in a and I say print a, what it's gonna do is it's gonna loop it until all of the data has been iterated once.
Yeah, this one makes sense because there's a loop in there, right? But I
Yeah,
don't
there's
that
looping over here, there's a loop over here as well. It's the same
and,
thing.
okay, and how about the indexing? Because on the other side, if you go back to models.py, I can clearly see
Mhm.
that on the loop I have only one thing to run, the print, right?
Okay, yeah, one thing to
And,
print.
and,
Okay.
and then how do you know if you go back to index.html, how do you know
Mhm.
that these 5 lines come under that loop? How does this program know? Like, I mean, like,
Okay,
why wouldn't we run script.s? I mean,
okay, okay. I'm gonna set you the scenario over here. In our index file, what's gonna happen is that there will be a thing called books, right? This books, okay.
okay,
And instead of all this number, there will be object one, object two, and blah 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 object. Object one each has the data attributes of title, author, and ISBN, right?
yeah,
Each of the object has a data attribute of title, author, and ISBN. So this is the exact same scenario, and it's gonna loop through books. And I'm just saying print I dot name, print I dot author, print I dot ISBN. This is all what I'm saying in index.html file.
okay.
Instead of I wrote there book, and instead of all of the I wrote book. This is what I'm doing.
Okay, maybe I'll understand little later, but now my confusion here is like the line number 17 that you have been telling here. I
Line
don't
number
see. I mean, like,
in views.py in the HTML piece.
no, if you go back to models.py where you have written these
Okay,
5 lines.
okay, okay,
So once you have the, I understood this books thing, that it makes a
okay,
list of things in the table, right?
okay. In the database, yeah, right.
Yeah. And now what you've said is uh, it is as if like running the loop for all the list of books that we have in the database, right?
Right, right,
Here
right.
I can clearly see that for loop exists for 18, 19, and line number 20, right? So my confusion
Okay.
with index.html is
Uh-huh.
how would it, if you go back to HTML,
Okay. I
index.html,
get a question. I
yeah,
get a question.
yeah, like
We got one more line to go over here. We got
so that viewers understand this as well. Like I have no idea how this program would know that I have to run multiple. I have to run the loop from line number 31 to line number 37. Oh, okay.
this is
So
what we
yeah,
have been missing.
okay,
This is what we have been missing.
okay,
Okay. I think it all makes sense now.
okay. Yeah, this makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
This makes so every time we run the database, this is gonna happen. Let's see if we have any error in our server. No, nothing is error. Let's see. I go over there, type in title, author. I pass in this href pound and tr. It goes over here again, makes a new tr, closes it, goes here again. I think it should be working now. Let's see. I'm gonna turn off the server and I'm gonna type in Python manage that y on the server. I'm going to paste this now. Instead of seeing Python and JavaScript, which we have hard coded, uh, we should see the books in our database, which is I think is angels and demons and ABC, right? Once we created going to /admin side, and once we created it from the console, right? So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna close this out. I'm gonna paste it. Okay, nothing has been coming. Okay, let's see what's later. Okay, for book in books, book the title in books, the PY. It's been passing. Let's render. Let's render. Okay. Probably this whole line. Paste it over here. Delete this function.
What if we
Go back to
console log in there and then see if things get displayed in the
wait a second.
console?
I'm gonna say index. It's gonna run the index function. Index gonna grab all the books. It's gonna say index the book. Now it should be fine now. Let's see. I'm gonna close this out. Paste it. Okay, type it. Context must be then the query context must be dictator, then a query set. Oh, there's one thing I forgot over here. Did you see what I did over here? The context actually should be dictionary. Instead, I cannot just grab in the books and pass it over here. I need to make a dictionary that has the key, anything you like, and the value should be the list, a bunch of array of book objects that we get from the database. That was the error. So let's see whether it's gonna run or not. We'll see. Let's pass in. Here we go. Angels and Demons, AVC, CDE 123 has been added in our database. Now what I can do is I can go over here, admin, let's run Nishant, login. Okay. Can you see me some name of books or something? Apparently I don't know the name of any book. So
Just write it the Da Vinci Code. That was
okay.
Dan Brown.
Okay, I'm just gonna write Da Vinci. Okay, author is?
It's a Dan Brown again.
Okay, so Dan Brown. And ISBN is whatever, 345, who cares, right? Okay, now it should be Da Vinci, AVC, and Angels and Demons in our database, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here. You see the magic of this code. Now whatever we type in the database, it comes over here now. So now we want to create such a functionality is that whenever users clicks this button submit, the things which the user had written in this field should go in the database. Because now if we're able to if we are able to make the things go to the database, we have seen that we can grab the stuff from the database and it gets printed out over here, right? So I'm going to create a function which has already been created apparently. Add book.
I wanted to know what that like inside the dictionary that you have under context in line 6 where your cursor is. What is
Lines.
the key part of the dictionary doing there?
Okay.
Key and
I told you if you wanna pass the data from the front back into the front end, I told you where this book's coming from, right? This book is coming from here. What was that? This book is coming from here. Now if I change this to something like books 1, and now this will not want to work. I'm gonna have to type book 1.
Okay.
Right. This it's books.
Oh, okay.
It is books. Right. So this is what it's been doing.
Okay.
So now I wanna say from Django.http import HTTP response redirect, and instead of rendering the space, I'm going to say go over here, and I'm going to say HTTP response redirect. I'm going to pass in the name of the URL, index, I guess, right? Index, let's see, return HTTP response redirect index from, I think this is the correct syntax. I'm not sure what the syntax is. I'm not sure whether it should be inside the quotation mark or it should not be inside the quotation mark. But what I want to do is whenever this function is run, I want this function to return. I want this function to return this thing. I want this function to, you know, I want this function to run this function so that this function can render this thing index.html over here. Let's try.
Okay. So what we want to do here is when we click on that submit button, we want the page
Yeah.
to refresh and then reload the table again.
Yeah, we want we want this function to run whenever user clicks the submit button.
Oh, okay. And then
So
what is that index doing here then?
okay, whenever so what I want to do is whenever the user clicks in the submit button, I want this function to run, and at the end of this function, I want this function to redirect us to this page index.html.
Okay.
Okay, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new path. I'm going to say add, and I'm going to say add book. I'm going to say name book. Control C, can save that, and go to index.html. Where's our submit button?
Submit button is over there, line
Oh
8.
no, it's over here. Action URL. Say add. What was the name of the function? It is name add book. Add book. And pass in this thing. Save that. Save that, and I think we're good to go now. Whatever user is the submit button, it goes over here. Add book, this function gets run, and when it goes to index, it's gonna grab all the, I think it should be working now. Let's see. Okay, self dot function is not iterable. Let's try to run the server first. Okay, there's some sort of error, I guess. What's the error? Probably, I think this one is error. Let's try first by typing render. It is still showing not none and is in self the pattern that name. Let's see, what is the error? It is showing some semicolon thing. The create name, book name, ISBN, author.
What is this error?
I don't know. This is saying this is some weird thing. If self dot pattern dot name is not none and colon in self dot pattern dot name, argument of type function is not iterable. Okay.
So
we have iterated. Type is not iterable. So let's see.
it has to be somewhere in the loop, maybe.
And when we rendered from the database, it was working all fine. So I don't think there's any problem in loop. I think we got problem. Let's see what's data in URL. Path is all fine. Name is all fine. Oh, I got data. It should be double quotation mark. Let's see if there it goes. Yeah, there it's gone now. I'm gonna tell you guys there will be one more error over here, like 403 forbidden or something like that. And I'm gonna talk about it now. Nishant. Let's say subquota 1 2 3. SI space 1 2 3. Let's submit. There will be forbidden 403 error, CSRF error. What this is saying is that there is a basic security feature in Django. Whenever somebody else tries to inject your web app, then this is the way the CRSF is the way Django protects their web app from. So what we need to do in order to remove this error is that just go over here in form over here. Just click over here and type in CSRF token and just press in the percentage sign again and save this. Go over here, run the server again. Control C, put it over here, remove this, and let's see if it's gonna work or not. Nishant, quota 5. Okay, I'm again getting the same error. CSRF token is post. Okay, we should have gated out this problem. CSRF. Oh, I put CSRF token at the end of the tag. It should actually be in the front of tag over here. It should be over here. Let's say this. Pass in one more percentage sign. Save this thing. And I'm gonna copy this here. This. Let's say DaVinci. Let's say 3. Let's say 345. So did it get added? No, it did not get added. Okay, I know the measure. I know why it did not get added. Okay, the thing is we're gonna have to redirect our user to this function now. So we're gonna have to use HTTP response redirect. So I'm gonna say HTTP response redirect, pass in what is the name of our URL? It's index. So I'm gonna pass in index. Save this. Let's see if I get an error. I'm gonna run the server again. C, paste this. Yeah, it's rendering. I'm gonna say H. I'm gonna say just like 7. Okay, page not found. 404 error. Okay, what's wrong over here now? It is still not working, right?
If you notice in the address bar, we have this extra line add/index.
Yeah, add/index. It should have been okay.
Maybe we just need to
404.
the double quote empty in line 21. I don't know. Just a rough guess.
Django.urls import first. I think we need to run the server again or what? Okay. I'm gonna write there. It has not been added yet. Did it get added? No. Type in orange. Let's type in R1. Let's type in 345. Let's submit. It did not get added yet. Let's see what the problem is. It had to go through this and it had to press in that. Let's see why it's not working.
Is it not added in the table in the database also, or is it just not rendered in the HTML?
Okay, let's see. Let's see if we are getting all the data or not. I'm gonna say book name. I'm gonna say author. I'm gonna say I guess get now. Let's refresh this. I think we need to copy this. I think refreshing does not work. I guess I'm not sure. Let's paste that, and let's see. I'm gonna pass in Nishant. I'm gonna pass in 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Submit. Did we get data? Oh, I think we did not get the data. I think that was a problem. I guess we're not even getting the data. I guess. Hang on. I think we're not even getting the data. Wait. Book name request, post title, author request, the post writer, ISB and num.
Okay. But are we sure that we are running this function? I mean, like, have we called this function? If yes, then maybe we could just check if that if statement is true before
Okay.
we check.
Okay, I'm gonna, okay, what's happening over here is I'm saying add book, URL add book. And so this function should run. The function named add book should not run. And add book, the function associated with name add book is add book, which is in our ViewPy add book. So it requires a methodical post. I'm saying book name requires a post title, writer, ISB, and num, and print book name ISBN. But it seems like this is not running. Okay, so
yeah, what if we do this? Like we write print something like say Nishant in line number 30, and then we write another lines under if say print Roshan. Now we see
okay,
the first line is going to check
okay,
if it goes inside this if function, and then the other line is going to check if it has gone inside this function. Like we write one more print maybe above if.
above if.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's say Roshan, right? So and if we
Okay.
get Roshan, then we know that it's at least
Yeah,
going
yeah,
to this
yeah.
function.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's a good idea. Yes. Why it's not work? Okay, let's go. Nishant, author is RTY, ISBN is 123. Let's submit. Let's see over here. Did you see Roshan or Nishant? Oh, I see the Roshan over here, but I did not see Nishant.
Yeah. So the if is not.
So we know. Okay. So seems like
Method.
seems like okay. Maybe method is post, or I think should it be in caps? I'm not sure. Let's try putting this in caps. I don't think that would matter, but request dot post. Okay, let's run this again. Control C. Okay, now we are getting different here. WSI request object has no attribute post. Okay, so I think so now we know that at least the function is getting executed after the if statement, right? Post. Let's go over here. Okay, it should be working now. Let's see. Okay, type either at add
Argument
book.
name.
Okay, where's that either? Okay, it's saying the iter is over here. ISBN equals ISBN. INT equals ISBN equals ISBN. Using add book. Okay, it's saying iter is over here in this line. Iter is in this line. It says. Let's see. Let's see if our ISBN num is correct. Yes, it is absolutely correct. And okay, so it is saying type iter book got an unexpected key argument name.
Maybe,
Oh, I think it is. I think it is title, not name. The whatever you name it over here, it should exactly match with models.py. We have named title over here, and we're just trying to pass in name over here. That was iter, I guess. So I think if we change this to title,
oh yeah.
it should work now. Let's see. Come on. All right, let's go. Let's type in Nishant. Let's type square 1 to 3. Let's type in 3, 4, 5. Let's see, submit. Here we go.
Okay.
Now books comes in over here. Let's try one or two more books over here. Let's try. Can you say me some books? Apparently, I'm running out of the name of the books.
Again, let's go with Dan Brown every time. Origin.
Okay, origin.
Dan.
Let's try Dan. Let's type in 56. There we go. Origin Dan 56. Right now we're basically. Let's see our JavaScript is kicking off or not.
What if
Yeah,
we
all the fields are
refresh
filled.
the page?
What was that?
What if we refresh the page? Are we going to
But
have?
even if you refresh the page, it's gonna be the same. Okay, let's refresh the page. You see, even if you refresh the page, nothing's gonna. Even if you refresh the page, the data is gonna store over here because the data stored over here is not stored in the browser. It is stored in the database. Okay, the data stored here is not stored in the browser. It is stored in the database, and we're retrieving the data every time from the database. So even if you refresh the page, it's gonna stay over here.
Even if we stop the server and restart again, everything is going to be.
Yeah, everything will be same. Okay, I'm gonna show you. CLS. I'm gonna close everything. Let's close everything. I close the server now, right? Now I'm gonna say Python manage the py server. It's gonna work kind of. There we go. Everything is same again.
Okay, perfect.
Is it cool? Now only one functionality that we need to make is whenever we click in the delete button, it should be, whenever we press the delete button, the entire row should go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a function over here. I'm gonna say define delete request.
How long is going to take, Nishant? Because I think I want to make sure that it doesn't exceed more than an hour. Because if it gets too lengthy, then maybe we'll want to
Okay.
split it into part 4. Is it like
Okay.
2 minutes of work? What do you think?
Okay, I think it's better if we do in the next part. And what I want to do is, let's say we got angels and demons, right? So if the user again types angels and demons, over here. I don't want this data to be stored over here because this data already exists, right?
Yeah.
This is the code that I wanna. This is the code that I wanna execute. So we're gonna execute this and the delete functionality in the next video.
Okay.
So stay tuned. Stay tuned for the next one, guys. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Nishant, and thank you everyone for being with us for more than an hour, I guess, for today's video. And then in the other lesson, as Nishant said, we're going to tackle the problem to delete the yeah, delete this a few list of books from the database, and also check if there are any duplicate books, or we just don't allow the entry of uh, same books multiple number of times, right? So that's
Yeah,
something
right. Absolutely.
tackling in the next part of the video. Thank you so much. All right, keep watching us. I hope this is something useful for you. Personally, for me, everything is almost new. I've done a little bit of Python, but then other than that, everything is completely new to me, and I got to learn a lot of things from you, Nishant. Thank you so much. Okay, bye bye, everyone.